Well, let's go to our final big three game of the week. Texas A&M, road favorites by 4 points on the road at Florida. This is a 2:30 kick on ABC. I think you and I will be in front of a TV for
I don't
this
know. I might
one.
be in my closet for this game. I'm terrified of this game, Mitch.
Batting down the hatches, get in the air raid shelter. Get enough food and water to last you 3 days. Because boy, we're going to be in mourning if Texas A&M finds a way to lose this one. That's a good way to segue into your pick. I don't think you're going with the maroon and white, are you?
Mitch, I'm going Florida outright. Yeah.
Why, Trey?
It pains me to say as a fan of the Texas Aggies, but I have seen this movie too many times before. And listen, as a fan of Texas A&M, I know you guys don't come to the show to hear fan takes, but humor us for this one game this week, because it really is a huge opportunity for a proof of concept. A win would go a very long way to winning back the good graces of the fan base down here in College Station. A loss would mean that the A&M program is way further off than most thought and not look good for the long-term outlook of the Mike Elko era. There's a lot riding on this game. I'm just talking about from the fan base rumblings that you're already hearing because they lost to Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame followed that up with a loss to Northern Illinois. This town is ready to light something on fire. I'm just going to tell you that right now, being amongst the people down here. It is not a pretty sight, and there's a lot of angst and a lot of anticipation for this game, and it's really nerve-wracking. And Mitch, I'm really trying as a fan not to put the sins of past Texas A&M coaches onto Mike Elko. That's not fair to him. This is his era. This is a new regime. He deserves every opportunity to have me give him the benefit of the doubt. But gosh dang it, I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending, to quote T. Swift. Going into an opponent's house with a coach on the hot seat, maybe a flashy new quarterback that gets a few plays here and there. We'll talk about Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway here in just a second, because You're right. Off the top, you said the Graham Mertz truthers are out in full force this week, and that's the weirdest segment of the college football internet to me. I don't get it, but you guys do you. I've seen this movie too many times before. I saw it with Les Miles at LSU. I saw it with Ed Orgeron at LSU. I saw it with a lame duck Mac Brown, if you want to go all the way back to 2011 with the last A&M Texas game. A&M loves to save jobs in this situation, and a flashy new quarterback that might get a little run just makes it even worse for me. It's a PTSD pick, Mitch. I'm going to full on say that. It's a PTSD pick. I'm going to take Florida outright.
It does smell a little bit like Shea Patterson burning his red shirt in 2016, 2017.
Another great example. Will Rogers, or was it Will Rogers back then? I think it might have been the week before that. Who was the quarterback at Mississippi State? The state of Mississippi just ran roughshod through Texas A&M in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the quarterback that we could never beat?
Yeah.
I cannot remember his name. I can see his face, but I'll look that up when we go to the next segment for sure. But yeah, it smells to put it mildly. I'm on Florida +4 as well. I am going to pick Texas A&M to win this game because, quite frankly, I believe they're the better team. Period. Full stop. Texas A&M is the better football team than the University of Florida. They are better coached. I think they have better athletes, not necessarily at the wide receiver position. That might be the one area that I favor Florida, but everywhere else, I give the momentum and the talent advantage to Texas A&M. Like you said, though, Billy Napier is a lame duck coach. He's a dead man walking. We know this. There's no secret that Billy Napier will not be employed at Florida at the end of this year unless he doesn't lose a game basically from here on out, right? Graham Mertz is going to start. I think that is the 16th death nail in the coffin for Napier. You watched DJ Lagway absolutely torch an opponent last week. I don't care that it was Samford. It was a real living, breathing team in another jersey. That was the perfect excuse to go, Graham, thank you for your service, and put him out to pasture. Instead of turning the franchise over to your 5-star quarterback that chose you when there was no reason to choose the University of Florida, that decided that he was going to hitch his wagon to Billy Napier instead of rewarding that and going with the 400 and whatever yards that DJ Lagway put up. Napier is going to do a 2-quarterback system. Trey, how did that work for SMU against BYU this last weekend?
Not great.
Not that great. Not that great. If Billy learns anything this week, I pray that he learns that going with the more talented quarterback in this day and age of college football is always the better choice. Graham Mertz is not your key to success to beating Texas A&M. If Florida's going to beat the Aggies, it's going to be because DJ Lagway goes hog wild on a secondary that has played fine, but still is very inexperienced as far as playing together. A lot of new faces. This is their first true road game, first road game of any kind for the Aggies this season. The Swamp is a difficult place to play. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. It's hurricane season, Trey. There are all these reasons why Florida should win this game, and it's why I'm taking them to cover. But boy, the other end of it, there's the Texas A&M history of losing these road games. By the way, they haven't won a road game since October of 21 when they last beat the Missouri Tigers. That feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
All of that is in the pot, and I still go, Napier's going to figure out a way to screw this up. With everything that should be going in Florida's direction for this game, Billy Napier is by far the worst coach on this field. That staff is by far the worst sideline on this field. So I think Texas A&M ultimately wins, but I think it's probably in a rock fight. Just like I predicted they would win against Notre Dame in a rock fight. The pieces were there. A&M just didn't get it over the line.
Yeah, didn't execute.
There you go.
But this really does feel like a game where whoever gets out of their own way the most. It's a big referendum on Connor Wegman, I think, too. I think I personally have taken the stance that I will wait to evaluate until after the Florida game. And that's been my coping mechanism through the first 2 weeks of football season. And it's time to pay the piper, baby. that coping mechanism is running out. And yeah, listen, should A&M win this game? Yes, I think they absolutely should. I think the defensive line of Texas A&M is going to give the Florida offensive line a ton of problems, just like the Miami defensive line did.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what they're doing with the quarterback situation, and usually that would give you confidence as a fan. As an A&M fan, that terrifies me because all it's going to take is DJ Lagway breaking out on a couple plays, and then he's in there. And then just who knows what happens after that. If it was Graham Mertz, I'd be way more confident than the whole time. But we really don't know what they're going to do. He's mentioned, Napier's mentioned a couple plays here and there. There's been rumors that it's just a couple packages. That seems like the more way to do it if you're going to try to keep the efficiency and keep the rhythm of the offense. But
yeah,
man, if he goes out there and alternates drives, or gives DJ a couple drives, that's just going to be a recipe for disaster. Yeah. I think, because if you're willing to do that, you should just start the kid. That 100%. If it's just a couple packages, I get it. But it looked like he could run the offense, and I just have no idea what they're doing here.
What else do you need to see from Graham Mertz? What else do you need to see from DJ Lagway to give him a chance? I mean,
it defies the logic of a coach on the hot seat too, right? Because if you're on the hot seat and you're looking for something to pitch to your bosses to say, hey, give me one more year, you want to play the young kid that you can pitch on the future on, right? That would seem to be the logical choice, not run the older fifth-year senior into the ground and go off not firing your best bullet.
You want to be able to tell him in the portal after you've been fired, hey, I gave you a shot. Come with me. I'll take care of you at this new destination. We'll ham and egg this. Boy, that was cathartic. I will say. I didn't expect to stand on my little soapbox, but I did. I will say this. X's and O's wise, what I'm looking for in this game, Texas A&M statistically has struggled against the run. When you dive deeper into it, they've struggled with a few runs. They've given up some big chunk plays. 2 in the Notre Dame game come to mind. I think 2 against McNeese State come to mind that have
with backups in.
Yeah. Against third and fourth stringers that have A&M statistically given up about 180 yards on the ground. I don't think that's going to be the reality, but week 3 would be a heck of a time for them to figure that out and to plug their gaps for sure. The other thing is that I'm looking for, can Florida's secondary play press man-to-man coverage? That was how Notre Dame took away A&M's wide receivers that are not just not great athletes, right? They're not those 5-star speedsters. They're not expert route runners, at least not yet. I think they've got some pieces, some young wide receivers that will and have flashed, but they're not going to be the guys that you rely on to go beat Florida in your SEC opener on the road. So if Florida's secondary can step up, play press man-man coverage, take away those wide receivers, there's no reason this shouldn't be another 23-13 kind of result in favor of Florida. So if you're a Gator fan, you're still listening. That's the recipe for success here. Choose DJ Lagway and play press man-man.
DJ Lagway and Terry Bussey, those are the two X factors to me, because those are the two players that could take struggling offenses and take them to another level.
Gracious, how about that?